podcast with Anthony Stevens and Damian Labe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Through the Lens podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 121. Yeah, we're back at it again, motherfuckers.
My name is Anthony Stevens.
My name is Damian
Labia.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't heard that one before.
I just realized that you forgot to do the thing.
The what thing?
The justice thing.
Just keep going over.
Alright. So yeah, this week we talk about a few different things. We start off in a way I kind of wasn't expecting, but I enjoyed. We go into conspiracy theories.
Again,
yeah.
Just naturally. Yeah.
Deep dive off of other stuff we've already gone to in the past, but this one's more historical, slightly religious based.
Yeah.
And then we touch on like some deaths of whether or not we believe they occurred. And then we also go into the big game of show event that happened this last weekend. I think we even actually missed one of the big showcases, but we hit the important stuff.
Yes.
We hit the Xbox game showcase and the UbiSoft Forward, and kind of go over what we're looking forward to, and then kind of go over some of our favorite games that we've experienced afterwards.
Yes.
And I think that's about it.
I think that's it.
So please enjoy this episode. I actually did, and I kind of like it.
I do too.
It's fucking catchy.
It is.
It's the weirdest mix I've ever heard, though.
It sounds like something it would be in a commercial for something, but I don't know what. Maybe a car commercial?
I was going to say cars would be
like
the best.
Yeah. That's what I got, the vibe from the hook, at least.
I was actually listening to it on the way here. And then I switched from that to Since You've Been Gone by A Day to Remember, the Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, shit. That's one cover I really don't care for.
See, that's definitely not my favorite. I prefer Cable Car, but I haven't heard it in so long, and I saw the music video. I was like, fuck it, I'll throw it on. The Cable Car cover they did from The Fray. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. Day to Remember next month.
Just a quick heads up. Next week,
heads down.
There's a potential that we could go without an episode. I'm going to do my best not to, but I get my wisdom teeth out on Friday, so.
Oh, if it was anything like Kenzie, her face was like swollen up like this, so.
And I got a motorcycle ride planned the next day, too, so I'm like, fuck.
Damn. I don't know if I am interesting enough to do like a solo episode. I don't think I could like ramble that long by myself.
I couldn't end it be like podcast safe. I feel like I was going fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how some people can do that. They can just talk for like an hour and a half by themselves. I'm like,
right.
Like Theo Vaughn, I can't do that.
Oh, dude. But that guy can talk fucking circles around anything.
I need somebody. I mean, if anything, I could get Justice. That'd be kind of funny.
Right. No, I should still be able to, but just as a heads up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Did you hear Ronald yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I finally listened to it, but I've only listened to it one time through.
I liked it the first couple times I heard it, but now I'm like, okay.
I definitely like the All My Life a lot more.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting album, especially if he keeps having like those caliber of
like
features.
Singles. That too, like, because there's, I think, let's see, because I know obviously there's some songs that have been released like for a long time that are gonna be on that album. Oh, that's me. Okay, well, I'll show the whole track list here, but I'm pretty sure Popular Monster's on there, which that's the name of the album too, but that's been out since like 2021.
That's why I was like, I'm not sure it's an actual album at this point, because like that's been out forever.
Popular Monster is number 2.
This is on Spotify?
This is Apple Music. Apple Music shows you the whole track list, even though it's not released.
Okay.
So Popular Monster is number 2. Voices in My Head is 5. Zombified is 9. Watch the World Burn is 7. And then The Last Resort is the last song.
90% of these songs are out.
Yeah, so the only ones we haven't heard, Prequel, I imagine, is just an intro.
Right.
I wouldn't. So, All My Life, Ronald, Bad Guy, Trigger Warning, and No Fear, like the songs we haven't heard. That's like 4 songs out of 11.
So,
If you go to Spotify, it only shows you the 2 singles.
See, and that's what I was wondering. Because
Yeah.
normally that's how they kind of start grouping the album together. That's why I was
Yeah.
getting on there real quick.
But like Apple Music, it'll show you all of them, but you can't listen to them. Yeah. But All My Life and Ronald are like right next to each other in the track list, like one after another.
Okay.
Yeah. Only 11 songs though. That's crazy.
I mean, that's. I think the most I've seen Falling in Reverse do has probably been like maybe 15.
What did Coming Home? This is a deluxe though.
Yeah.
Deluxe. Without the deluxe, they did.
'Cause that came out 2017.
Yeah, that's 13 songs as a deluxe. So, yeah.
Was that that wasn't their last full album, was it?
Yeah. Fuck. 2017, and then before that was Just Like You.
I remember I was out of town working for Waste Management. I had just gotten hired, so I was out there doing training for like 3 weeks, like right after I got married. So like Coming Home was like my anthem for like the last 3 days.
Just Like You has 14 songs. Fashion Be Late has 15 songs. And then the first album
12 or
had
13?
11.
11.
46 minutes. That's good. For me, like a fucking perfect album length is about 45 to 50 minutes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've liked a couple that have gone like over the hour mark, but those are typically more like concept album
Like
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me see. Just for example, I wonder
You
how
run the risk of it kind of straying from the path if it's not like a concept.
Yeah. Downward Spiral is an hour and 5 minutes. And that doesn't feel like it when you're listening to it. That's a concept album for sure.
Yeah. How long is Black Parade?
That has to be probably not too far after, like too much longer than an hour, but 52 minutes.
Okay.
And that's with the hidden track, so it's like 50 probably.
Okay. I don't even like how they call it a hidden track. Other than the fact that it doesn't, they maybe just want it to be disconnected from the actual like.
Yeah, because there's a couple of minutes space between the last song and that, right?
On
when you
the
listen to that.
CD,
On the
yeah,
CD, yeah.
but not
on
on streaming. Yeah, it just jumps right to it.
I miss CDs sometimes for that because that's like a surprise when you first find
Right.
it. You're like, oh fuck.
Well, and it tripped me out the first time I heard it because it's not listed on the back.
No.
And then it goes to track like 14 or whatever, and you're sitting there and you're like, it's fucking dead silence. And then all of a sudden it kicks in, you're like, oh, okay.
That's what Antichrist Superstar does. If you listen to the album, it'll go through like multiple songs of silence, and then it'll have like a net. I don't know if you ever heard like the hidden thing that's there. It like kind of leads into the beginning of the album,
Oh, wow.
kind of thing. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah,
Because I've only listened to it on streaming.
Antichrist Superstar. Mm-hmm. I bought that album. Well, I've always heard it like my whole life, but I actually bought it like in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I was like really, really getting into Marilyn Manson. I bought his like book and everything too back then.
Which one?
Long Road Out of Hell, or whatever it's called.
I think
Long Hard Road Out of Hell.
I think it was that one.
And the cover it has
got
like
the
his
audio
face,
book.
but it's kind of blurry and his eyes white, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one I had on Audible.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
It's definitely wild.
It's no one. Just a wonder how he's alive after living that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You see his jawline again?
He does look like the old. He doesn't even look like he's aged at that point.
No.
That's wild.
He probably like freaked out and like
Started doing drugs again.
I don't think I think he probably took that time when he was like canceled to get like really clean or something because he looks, and he just signed to like a death metal
Because he was
centric
going,
label.
he was going to like Kanye's church and stuff for a minute there too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Which is the weirdest thing I think I've ever said in my life.
Yeah.
Like, there's just such strange, like, combination of people.
it really is. But yeah, so he looks good.
Especially
So-
to combine his name with church.
Yeah, that
Especially
is-
because wasn't he like one of the leading names in like the
he was
Satanic
a
church?
Yeah, it was some, I forgot the position name, but yeah, he was something. But yeah, so that's honestly going to help his live shows a lot too, because his live shows before he got canceled were kind of not great because he was still drinking and he was just overweight and he was no energy and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So hopefully that'll.
Is his one was it Twiggy? Which one had cancer? For a while.
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know. That I don't know.
Don't know.
I've been listening to more stuff about that Anunnaki.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Do you know Billy Carson?
Name sounds familiar, but not off the top.
He's a black guy. And he's really smart. Like
Is he the
just
one that went on
studied
Rogan?
just like a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just listened to it today.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I listened to him talk about it a little bit, and I was
I'll
like,
show you
oh.
some TikToks that I have him too.
Okay.
Okay, Anunnaki. Do you believe they're real? I believe they do.
I do not.
You don't?
No.
Why?
Because
Just out of curiosity.
Well, primarily because I like. Even if it were, it is whatever. Like,
you're a man of the Lord now.
Yes,
But what if the Lord is a fucking Anunnaki?
I mean, then that would be. It would make things interesting. But I only believe in the things that. I don't know what evidence there would even be for that. And even then, I believe in more the idea that, like, kind of how we've talked in the past. Like, yes, I believe that aliens are real, but I believe that, like, aliens are angels and vice versa. Where even if it were the Anunnaki, I don't believe it's quite like a lot of people say, but I also don't know enough. I've only listened to like the Ninjas Are Butterflies version and a little bit of what that guy was saying, and like how they like basically put us here to like farm for gold and we're like storage for souls.
Yeah, they basically they basically made us to collect resources and do all the shit for them, but somewhere along the line we kind of like developed into our own thing.
Yeah. See, and like I've heard that, but it's just like.
But if that's the case, then where do they go? If we didn't do what they wanted us to do, they
Right.
kind of just left us here to do that.
Exactly. I'm like, if it was that, then I feel like it'd be a lot more prevalent.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, we get like sightings and stuff of aliens all the time, but like, if my thing is, if there are aliens, I do believe it's related to God. And would I feel really weird about even like halfway believing in that, because I'm just like, I believe in what's in the Bible, so it's hard to like mix it. But there is stuff that was in the Bible that they've taken out that is like, it goes into that alien stuff so much.
Like I think he was saying in the Book of Enoch, they just talk about that, and then the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was the Bible before the Bible, basically.
It's like one of the original translations.
Yeah.
It was written on a cowhide and like found in the side of a mountain of like
in
near
a
the
cave
Dead Sea.
almost. Yeah.
To where like it was perfectly preserved.
Yeah.
To where you can't tell me that the Bible has been mistranslated, because it's one of the original like copies, and there were only like, when they started like transcribing the Bible, there were only like 6,000 copies. And everyone was like painstakingly copied, and there were like 3 or 4 different languages, and they all matched perfectly and did so down the line. Otherwise, you'd have to go back and find all these manuscripts and change them, and it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
To keep that under wraps the entire time over 2,000 years.
Yeah, because in the Dead Sea Scrolls, they talked about shit like that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, but here's one. Maybe. If I wasn't on Wi-Fi.
What kind of stuff they have buried in those Vatican archives?
Oh man, they
what
got
kind of
so
stuff
much.
is hidden from us?
Whew. Listen, in those Vatican
This is that guy.
5 miles of underground Vatican archives.
Right, that's a lot.
There's been a few people that have come out talking who have had access to these Vatican archives. They can't say specifically everything they saw, but one guy did come on a documentary on History Channel years ago and talked about the fact that they had bones of beings that weren't human. From their perspective, they weren't human bodies. They had books and texts down there that nobody's ever been able to read or access that talk about technology, flying devices, and all these other incredible things that were hidden during the Inquisitions. Because during the Inquisitions, they were suppressing technology heavy because they wanted to keep their boot on the necks of the people. The Inquisitions were so brutal, they killed over 80 million people over the course of 700 years, ordered underneath the popes. That really held us back, because we should have been on the moon in the 1800s if it wasn't for the Inquisitions. That alone held us back from technological advancement.
That I believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say like...
Do you believe the body stuff? The bones of non-humans?
So, yes. But like me and you have talked on previous podcasts, I would be more convinced that'd be related to like the Nephilim, which is like the giants
which is
and
giants,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, it's not even just giants. It's like, and maybe there's another name for them because you got like Nephilim, Seraphim, the cherubim. Like there's a bunch
Syphilis.
of different. Nope. I mean that's our fault.
That's our fault.
No, but like the Nephilim specifically, they're not just the giants, but they're also like mixtures of like creatures and man, like from crossbreeding and stuff. Which is where we get a lot of like our myths from and all that stuff over the last however many thousand years that like are so like Egyptians have crossbreeds, Greeks had crossbreeds, Romans had crossbreeds, like every ancient culture did, and then all of a sudden like it died out. It's also weird how every ancient culture has a version of dragons.
That's what I'm saying. They all have their own version of dragons. They all have their own versions of the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
They
Which
have
I want to
different
know
versions of
where that original theory comes from.
Yeah, or is it like, because obviously people traveled the world back then, but they couldn't, I mean, they did travel continent to continent, so they could have just passed on stories and then other cultures could have did whatever, but
Right.
I don't know. I think it's more likely that there's versions of that in each place kind of thing.
And I do agree with that because, I mean, even if you look at, like, the giants of Utah or, I can't remember what the other, like, the giants that were, like, in the mountain, stuff that happened in the U.S. And then you also have very similar stories to, like, Noah's flood in Mayan culture. And them having talks of giants and stuff that started living in the mountains after the flood because there was only a couple of them left.
Because the flood part, that was real.
Oh, guaranteed.
Well, it's not like confirmed, but you have to think it is because what is that thing that he talked about it today on that episode? The Younger Dryas impact or something like that?
I think that's what
I
it's
think
called.
that's what it was. That was related to that flood, and that's where Noah came from and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I've heard people say Noah was an alien. I don't know about that, but
I don't believe that because he would be.
Yeah.
So in the Bible, he's the so he's either the great grandson or the great great grandson of Enoch.
yeah. And Enoch is Kendrick's son.
I mean, that is also true. But no, he. They say they think they've even found like remains of the ark in what'd be modern day Turkey. Along with like that Göbekli Tepe thing. I know
that's in South America?
No, that's also close to like
Is it?
in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so if you listen to that Ninjas Are Butterflies, they kind of go into it. And so they basically talk about how it was buried by Noah's son to kind of hide that, because that was the Göbekli Tepe was like one of the reasons that we like the flood happened in the first place.
I'm gonna look that up.
It's a trip.
Because I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a stone with like
it's like a little arena looking thing,
yeah.
but small.
But yeah, the theory is like one of Noah's sons buried it because of like the covenant that Noah made with God and everything.
And no one knows how this was made, right? That's one of the ones they found it and they don't know anything really about it.
Correct, and that's
Okay.
mainly found in like references to that would be mainly found in stuff like the Book of Enoch.
Okay.
Because that would basically be like almost the instruction manual to create the Nephilim and such.
Shit.
Is the way I remember. I could have a couple of those details wrong, but like it's crazy how much we don't know.
They were talking about the Ark too, and they were saying like, you know how they had like 2 of every animal or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
They said it probably wasn't exactly like that.
No, I guarantee not.
Yeah, it was probably just like a few or something or whatever.
Oh
but,
yeah. Well, and then you also, one more thing that like basically confirms like a great flood at one point is like mountaintops with fish fossils.
Oh.
Like how else would they get up there?
Yeah, that's
So
I don't know. All that stuff is like super interesting. I think what was it this morning for some reason, because Kenzie had stood the night, and she leaves like when she sleeps over here. She leaves like at 4:30 because she has to work early. Mm-hmm. So I'm up and I'm just like looking at TikTok, and then these videos started popping up, and I just like watched like I don't know how many of them, and that's why I listened to that episode today. But I've just been recently getting more into that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely trippy. I do believe, in a lot of this stuff. My main thing is like, how was it that like Judaism is like one of the only religions that has survived that long,
Right.
to the point where like it almost feels like at certain points there's an attempt to wipe it out, which almost kind of feels like what's happening again now.
I can see that. What's that book that they have, but people say it's not a good book, I don't think. It's like an instruction manual for something Zion, or is that something else?
I'm not sure. I know like people, so I don't even know what a Zionist is, but it has relations to like Israel.
Let me see. Because it's a very talked about book, but I can't remember. Elders of Zion? Is it Elders of Zion? I don't know if that's what it is.
I don't know. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. When I think of Zion, I think of Bob Marley.
When I think of Zion, I think of the band POD.
I mean, there's that too, yeah.
They had a song in one of their old albums that talked about that.
So
Did you like POD? I like.
Oh, I loved POD.
I love POD.
It's crazy because I never realized when I was a kid that they were like technically a Christian band.
Yeah, I didn't know that until later on too. But when you go back and listen to their first album they got big on, you're like, okay, I can hear it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like they have the couple songs that definitely don't lean that way, like "School of Hard Knocks" and
Youth of the Nation.
Oh, dude, I love Youth.
That
of the
was a
Nation.
big one back.
That, Here Comes the Boom.
God.
Every time I hear that song, I just think of what's that movie? Longest Yard.
Yep, I think that one too.
So Zionism is the reestablishment and now the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. It was established as a political organization in 1897 under Theodore Herzl and was later led by Chaim Weizmann. Yeah, I don't know.
All that stuff, because you hear people like when they talk about this all this stuff that's going on with Israel and shit, like people who are on Israel's side, like Zionists or something.
Yeah,
like that. I don't know what that means exactly.
It's like the support of like Israel becoming, like the Jewish population of Israel basically regaining power of Israel.
Right.
Which is really crazy because like, have you ever heard of the Dome of the Rock?
Oh, but I've gotten dome.
Oh my god. So the Dome of the Rock is placed where the original or the last major Jewish temple was. It was taken over by the Muslims, destroyed, and then they built the Dome of the Rock. And now the closest that Jews are able to get to it is like the wall outside, and they like stand out there and pray all the time because it's separated into. Is it two? I think it's three portions in Israel. You have like a Muslim or an Islamic side. You have a Jewish side, and I think a Christian side.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. The Christian side's a little bit more neutral, but if you like pass into the Islam side, like especially as a Jew, there's like a major threat of violence. And they're not even allowed to like get on the property of the Dome of the Rock.
I'm going to look that up.
So there's a lot of talk, and this also comes from that channel. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk of an overthrow getting ready to happen soon because they have. I don't know if we've talked about the red heifers.
I think we may have mentioned it, but we really didn't talk about it.
Okay, so basically, part of their ritual to basically create a new temple is they have to sacrifice a perfect red heifer. No single hair can be a different shade of red. It has to be perfect from head to toe. No one could have ever leaned on it, or like they have like a bunch of these different like categories for what is allowed to have happened with this. It can never be yoked. It has to be virgin. All this stuff.
Okay.
For like a perfect sacrifice, so that they can do that. And for the last 2,000 years, they haven't been able to find one. But this farmer in Texas decided he heard about it somewhere, and these like Jewish guys were going around everywhere trying to find something, and they randomly would go to like all these farms and be like, "Hey, so you got some red heifers. They're like, can we take a look? And they would always fail. But there, one day, someone was like, hey, you got to check this one guy. He wins the competition every year at like the state fairs and all these like awards for like having like the most beautiful cows, whatever. Come to find out, like 20, 30 years ago, he found out about this like prophecy or whatever. So he decided to start raising these cows, and they found them, and they like took 5 of them back to Israel with them now. And we can see what happens from here now.
Shit.
Yeah, because I think it's supposed to happen. They're talking about doing it by like August, I think.
Okay.
Which could also jumpstart a war.
A sacrifice of a cow?
Yeah, because they would have to do it on the Dome of the Rock.
Oh.
So
if they're perfect condition or whatever. Right,
well, they've found 2 that are perfect. I think is what I last heard.
Okay.
But that means they can't be
That's interesting.
desecrated in any way until then.
They do, yeah.
So
all that stuff is interesting and in a way, I don't want to say stupid, but kind of, I guess.
it seems very conspiracy theory-ish, but
It does.
that's how they created the first temple and the second. So now it's like they think that creating the third temple, like in their prophecies, that's how you get the Messiah to come again.
To come again, yeah.
Well, they think for the first time, but
Yeah.
so
Who's the Messiah to them?
it's weird. I didn't know how many like different sects of Judaism there are. So the Messiah to them is all prophesied in I believe it's either the book of Isaiah or Jeremiah, which is where a lot of people believe that Jesus was the Messiah, because he fulfilled like 300 something prophecies. But due to the way things were going at that time, a lot of people, you can read the Bible, you know why he was kind of pushed aside.
I haven't
and
actually
stuff.
read the Bible in a long time.
I mean, okay, so you have like
time.
he kind of pressed back against a lot of the Jews who publicly were perfect, but behind the scenes were like super corrupt.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that, so they basically were like, okay, they forced the Greeks to crucify him. In just the short version of it, because it could take forever.
Yeah.
But to them, the Messiah is not even the Son of God. And technically not born of a virgin birth, more born of a firstborn child.
Firstborn, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where like the layers get a little bit weirder and more. Different translations do slightly different things with that prophecy. But have you ever heard of a Messianic Jew?
Yes.
They're Jews who practice Judaism, but they believe that Jesus is God.
Okay.
Or the Messiah.
Okay.
So like they practice as like a regular Jew, but they just have that one slight different belief. And then until today I never heard of Ashkenazis, and then there's like I can't even remember the name. I was listening to Ari. I've heard of Ashkenazi Jew, but I didn't know what it was. I was listening to Ari Shafir talk about it today on a podcast. Because there's like a whole section of Jews that like they were conflating it to like if a Nigerian dude came over here to the US as like a first generation and was complaining about slavery, it would be as hypocritical as like a Jew, I can't remember what they're called, it starts with an S, that were to be like, oh yeah, we were persecuted. He's like during the
Holocaust?
Yes. Because they were nowhere near not touched. They were like completely unfazed by the Holocaust because they were in like Syria and everything.
Oh, okay.
So but yeah, I'll have to look up the name of them, but
That's all crazy.
yeah, it gets really deep and kind of terrifying. And yeah, to a certain degree, I think people are reading into it way too much, because I don't think anything one person or a group of people could do could bring the Messiah.
No.
But
Because that at that point you get into the whole is it real kind of conversation. Because then what happens if they do that and it works out and then nothing happens? Like, what are they going to believe at that point?
right. Well, and then there was a rabbi, years ago, or yeah, like I think it was like a rabbi years ago that predicted that Benjamin Netanyahu would be the last president, prime minister, whatever, of Israel. And everyone was like, oh, okay, they lied because he was replaced. Well, then now he's back as the prime minister president. So everyone's like, this is the last time.
They're like, fuck.
So it's like, it's constantly like this weird circle of stuff going on where like there's constantly new theories popping up because everyone wants it to happen. Well, these people want it to happen.
Yeah.
So
that'd be interesting. Like, what if that is like real and like him or whoever is like waiting for us to figure something out so they can't come.
Oh yeah.
And then that'd be fucking insane. I don't know what I'd do. What would you do if you just like, if it turns out to be like the Anunnaki or some shit or whatever, like some alien life form that shows up instead of like the Messiah or whatever? I don't know what people would do. Like something that you couldn't even fucking like picture in your head right now. That's what it would be. Like that'd be crazy if that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what we would do.
You'd be in so much shock. I feel like.
Yeah, I almost feel like if
People would
something
die from shock, probably.
Oh yeah. Not only that, I feel like if that were the actual thing to happen,
Yeah.
it would be more of a situation of like a Independence Day, and we wouldn't stand a chance.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, like it would be like, you know how they just completely decimated like entire cities.
Or even Battle Los Angeles, Battle for Los Angeles. Yeah.
It would be like
shit up.
it'd be like an extermination / reset.
Oh yeah.
So
You get a good look, and then you're pretty much done.
yeah, exactly.
Unless you offer to suck them off. I don't know.
I don't know if that would work. No, that's why I'm like, I feel like maybe there's some sort of combination, but I definitely believe in more of like what is written that we have more information on.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I believe in.
I don't think
I'll just say
any
it
of it
outright.
makes sense for real.
Right. I
but-
mean, there are certain things I don't believe make sense, but
Yeah.
the one thing I will say out of everything that I feel makes sense is Jesus. I understand everybody has their
Jesus
opinions.
is real.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one thing you cannot deny.
You can't deny that. But now, can you deny that he was born actually of a virgin? I don't know.
See, that's one thing that is hard.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that makes it a little bit more like, okay, if he were to die, and this is something I believe as well, because of the fact you had more than 500 witnesses who at some point wrote something down about seeing him after his death. It at least infers some sort of godly status.
Yeah. You also have people that said they saw Elvis after he died.
That one I believe.
And
down to,
Hitler.
like- okay, both of those have logical explanations. though.
Yeah.
So, like you're talking about.
And Tupac.
I mean that one
That
I believe
one,
a little
never,
less.
I never believed in that one.
Yeah, people look like each other. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, people sound like each other too.
Oh, 100%. But like the Hitler thing, I think I believe more than most of it.
I think he actually did. He like lived to an old age in
yeah.
South America.
Well, yeah, it was in Argentina. There's like entire villages that only speak German, and they're blonde hair, blue eyed.
After the war, there was high-ranking like Nazi officers and shit that moved to South America.
Adolf Eichmann, I believe.
Yeah, and they started like basically concentration camps over there too,
Oh, yeah.
and they were fucking shit up over there, and they were breeding with whoever was over there.
Isn't
So
that an Oscar Isaac movie?
that I don't know. Oh, you're talking about The Last Jedi?
I mean, close enough.
No, I'm not sure to be honest with you.
Okay, I was like, I feel like there was a movie about Adolf Eichmann where he was like part of like the
Let me see.
U.S. military that like went and like extracted Adolf Eichmann out of Argentina.
But yeah, so you got that, but there was even people found like papers and letters and shit in South America after the war that the handwriting was like super similar to Hitler's.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and there was the reports about that, and then you also have the reports about Elvis. This one, I believe, maybe a little bit less.
he was captured in Argentina in 1960.
Okay. Well, what was the movie that was made about it, though?
Let me see. Operation Finale.
I believe so. Yeah. Wait, is it Oscar Isaac?
It is Oscar Isaac and what's his nuts? The guy who played Gandhi and
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have said Trevor.
I was thinking of it too. But what were you about to say before?
Oh, like the Elvis thing. So like, the one weird thing that I've heard a lot of stuff like about like the embarrassing parts of like what you would have to do to like basically get out of like the Hollywood life would be like some like sort of embarrassing death. So like Elvis dying on the shitter.
toilet.
Yeah, on the turlet. Fucking Letterkenny.
That's a great one. We watched that at your house that one time, and we were all laughing for like 10 minutes.
Dude, I was rolling.
Yeah.
I've watched it like 5 times, and I think I laughed just as hard every time 'cause it's fucking ridiculous. But he, like, there were people who did claim to see like a homeless guy that they thought was Elvis.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to find a way out because, I mean, dude, he was so controlled.
So controlled. He was about to go on a fucking international fucking run before he was forced into doing that residency in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So
Because Homeboy couldn't ever get...
clearance to go out there.
Yeah, because he would get deported.
Yeah. Yeah, so he basically fucked his life up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He got the one Hawaiian thing, and then that only worked because it's a U.S.
It's
state.
the U.S., yeah.
So
yeah, Elvis kind of... He put him on, but he also fucked him at the same time.
100%.
That's the tricky thing, like... If you know you're about to get put on, you're gonna be famous. But then at this, you have that knowledge pre-hand that at some point you're not gonna be able to really do anything. Is it worth it at that point?
Right. So. The one thing that is beneficial about that is that dude was kind of a fucking genius. He was a shyster. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was a genius.
He was a genius. Like
he knew what he was doing.
He was selling both sides of the merchandise because he knew it was wanted. Like it's fucking genius
crazy.
level.
That is genius. I would want some merch that says "I hate
Right,
blackjack" or something like that.
Like I would buy it just because of the fact that it's like, hey, it's still going to him.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of cool. It's a piece of history. Like if you could find like one of those pins, it probably would be worth more than the "I love Elvis" ones.
Oh yeah, that would be worth more than maybe a new car. I don't know.
Right? It's fucking insane.
Yeah. That's the key, man. If you want to get famous, I guess know how to market. But
100%.
But yeah, so yeah, the Elvis thing, I don't believe as much. Even if he was alive, he'd be dead anyway at this point.
And I think they said that homeless guy died a few years ago. People were trying to claim it was him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I fully believe that one. I do believe the Hitler one.
Yeah, I do believe the Hitler one. There's all sorts of weird shit that we should do an episode on World War II one time.
Oh yeah.
I went through a phase of my life when I studied World War II like fucking hard. I forgot a lot of information, but yeah.
I went in deep for a while too. Maybe not quite as deep, but there were a lot of fucked up experiments. We could definitely maybe do that on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll do that, and there's also some supernatural stuff linked to World War II as well.
Oh yeah.
Probably just from people being not sleeping and being up and being afraid probably fucks with your mind.
Right.
But there is some weird shit related to not just World War II, but wars in general.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely a stressful time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, hail Satan. Just joking.
I disagree firmly.
No, I don't know.
Like whatever.
I don't know, man. Believe in the worst of the Teletubbies. Fucking know.
Oh Lord. So we do have one other thing to talk about to get off all the conspiracy stuff for a moment.
I love conspiracy.
I do too. We can go for days.
We should create a separate podcast.
We always could. Yeah. We would just have to really deep dive and research with that one.
Yeah, that one you can't really pussyfoot around with.
No. You got to do independent research. You can't just go off of everybody else's stuff on that too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
So we were going to touch on the crazy weekend of video game reveals.
Yes, I was about to pull up the I was about to pull up what happened.
So
all right. Do you want me to list them all off?
As many as possible, yeah.
Okay, because all of them are here. Some of them I don't know, but I'm sure you. Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Which that one is getting a lot of blowback because even the campaign is always online this time. Because they're trying to claim so they can decrease the download size.
Okay.
But the download size is 302 gigabytes.
Damn.
So it didn't do a whole lot of good to do that.
All right, we got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Did you see the trailer for that one?
Did not see it.
It looks gorgeous. And they got Troy Baker to do the voice.
Oh, okay.
And fucking perfect. It sounds exactly like Harrison Ford.
What does the gameplay look like? Like third person, kind of Resident Evil looking.
I actually want to say it's first person, but like the cutscenes are in third person.
Okay.
Because I remember there was something about like using the whip with like in first person mode.
Okay.
Unless that's just a separate action.
Could be. Gears of War E-Day, which is a prequel to the first one, and it's
So good.
They said it's gonna be more horror based again.
Well, make it a lot more interesting because you know a lot of the stuff that has to happen.
Yeah.
But you get to see those moments like Dom like losing his wife and stuff
Right.
for the first time.
We got Doom: The Dark Ages.
See, I have not seen that one yet. I do want to watch
I've seen a picture and it said it's more ambitious than the last couple that came out.
Okay, I wonder if it's kind of like in the same vein as the last ones, where it's not
The
quite
armor
as-
on the suit has like a cape made out of fur looking thing. It looks more medieval. So I don't know.
Is that Doom Dark Ages?
Yeah, I guess Dark Ages medieval.
Alright. I wanted to put it in my thing because I didn't even see this trailer.
You know, I didn't watch the trailer either yet. Then we got Avowed, which I have no idea what that is.
Looks decent. I guess it got announced years ago and it's finally like got a 2024 release date, but they still don't have like a firm date.
Okay. Diablo 4.
I've never been a big Diablo guy.
I've never played any kind of game like that.
Well, it's like more like MMO style
It's like
too, isn't
Warcraft kind of.
it? Yeah.
Flight Simulator 2024.
I tried to get into that. Even
Tried the
I was
Farm
happy
Simulator.
it was free. I never did that. My son loves the Goat Simulator
Oh,
games.
yeah, I played that one. Then another World of Warcraft game. Don't care. Dragon Age, the Veil Guard.
That looks cool.
Veil Guard, so they're guarding lambs.
Maybe, but it's like 10 years since the last one or
I was
more.
gonna say, I think the last time it was Dragon Age 2, I think. Because
Dragon Age 2 or Dragon Age Origins.
I think it was red. I know that. I don't know if that helps, but it was
Red.
red. But because I remember I was at the Chico's, and that's when I was dating Brittany at the time, and Jeremy, her brother.
So 11
we
years
went to
ago.
the store with him to buy it.
Oh fuck!
So I don't know which one that it was though.
I
Exactly.
like Jeremy. He was a cool kid.
Jeremy was cool. Fun times and bad times. Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Looks really good. The gameplay looks dope.
Speaking of Asian.
I need to watch the full gameplay trailer to kind of see it.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either.
It looks slightly more towards the old style, but I can't guarantee it until I look at that. On November 15th, I believe.
How come nobody talked about Mirage? Was that not worth the shit?
It was a very short game, and it was originally meant to be a DLC for Valhalla.
Oh, so it wasn't even a mainline game.
It still is a mainline game,
Oh, okay.
technically. They chose to release it that way. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Super short. I got 100% achievements and 100% completion in 30 hours.
So would this one be considered the next real game after
Yes.
Valhalla? Okay.
Yeah. This kind of goes away from that last trilogy of games.
Yeah.
So, like, Mirage is still kind of in there with the trilogy, but it's still technically its own separate thing. Where Mirage is going to be, or Shadows is like the kickoff of a new, hopefully just trilogy, to where maybe they're exploring with like gameplay styles and they can kind of mix those two, because you have like the one heavy guy and then you have the chick who's more stealthy.
Okay.
So,
I honestly think an Assassin's Creed remake for the original one would be kind of cool.
dude, there's no way they don't do that eventually. They've already remade all three Ezio games, so there's no point.
Did they
in not
remake
doing
those or just remaster it?
it. I mean, they did a pretty much top down. I think they called it a remaster, but it was fairly top down.
Okay.
Like the graphics were way better,
Okay.
except for a couple of the NPCs on Assassin's Creed 2 looked like shit.
And then after that, we got Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Don't even know what Stalker is.
Yeah, I didn't look at that one.
Age of Mythology Retold. I'm guessing that's a Warcraft-based looking game.
Kind of. It's like a top down, like Sims kind of version thing.
Then Fable, which you said is a remake.
Remake
sequel.
So it's Fable 4, but it's being made by a different company now. And I believe the last time I heard, and this was a couple years ago when they first announced it, was that it's going to basically be like, I want to say almost like 1,000 years ahead in history, or maybe 500 years, one or the other.
Okay. Same different characters?
Different characters, yeah. I believe in the first 3 games it all follows the same bloodline of characters.
Okay.
In the first one, I believe you can only play as the boy.
Don't you fuck in those games?
Oh yeah, you can have kids, family, wife, all
okay.
that. In the second one, you get to choose gender. Third, you get to choose gender, and you can either be like king or queen.
Non-binary.
I mean, a lot of people are mad because they think they're only going to be able to play as a girl in this one, and I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The model doesn't look the best, but the graphics look fucking insane.
Okay.
Like, it's like perfect. This game doesn't come out till 2025, sadly, but it's going to be amazing.
Fable 3 was the last one?
Fable 3 was the Fable 3 was the last mainline. They had like a Connect game that didn't do very well.
When was 3? That was a while ago, right? It's over 10 years ago.
2012 maybe?
I was going to say.
Let me look real quick, because dude, Fable 2 was the first game I ever went to a midnight release for, and I remember my mom told me, you're not staying home from school, we're just getting the game and going home. Went, turned it on, played it for probably like 15 minutes. My mom's like, all right, if you go to bed now, you can stay home from school.
That's
like,
back
yeah.
when you can just put a game in and play it too.
Right.
Now you got to put it in and wait for a day for it to fucking install.
Oh, shit. So Fable 3 came out in 2010.
Holy shit. So that means Fable 2 is like 2006, 2007? Because it was 360. I know that.
I believe it was 6th or 7th grade. Let me see.
I want to say 2007. That sounds about right.
I love Assassin's Creed, but Fable is my 2008.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fable is my by far number one
Out of anything.
franchise, period.
Okay.
Like, I have had, like 12 Assassin's Creed games since the last one came out. So, I've been waiting.
Where's your Fable tattoo?
And there wasn't anything that really defined. Well, I guess there was, but I just
get the fucking title on your back. Just Fable.
Yeah, like I think I'm past the whole like, hey, let's get. No, actually, that's not true. I'm gonna get a whole horror leg. So
I was gonna say when I start getting, because I want to get one for my birthday this year.
oh shit,
I want to just get like movie based things.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
get
My first one, I want to either go Alien related, Hereditary. I guess Alien or Ari Aster related.
I was gonna say get the Hereditary, get the little sister with the like all swollen up face and shit right before the head comes off.
Oh yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh, it's fucked.
But yeah, either Alien or Ari Aster related for first one.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope.
All right, so after Fable, we got something called Mixtape, which I have no fucking idea.
No
what that
idea.
is. Perfect Dark, which I'm guessing is a remake.
It is. I believe it's technically the second remake, but it looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
because there was a Perfect Dark for the 64.
I think that was perfect. Perfect Dark, and then you had Perfect Dark Zero,
which was the 360.
Yeah.
And then
because I believe that was a rare title, wasn't it?
that was rare.
Yeah.
That was the first time that was technically remade
Yeah.
for the 360. I think this is right after that. I don't think there has been one since.
No, there hasn't.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting. Graphics look beautiful. Like the setting and everything, and like the way they use technology and stuff in the game looks really dope.
And then we got we got Expedition 33,
I heard great things about it, but I didn't watch any footage from it.
South of Midnight. Oops. Then we got Starfield Shattered Space. I'm guessing that's a DLC.
That's what I'm guessing. I'm gonna look at it because I absolutely loved that game.
I heard it was good.
It was really good.
State of Decay 3. No idea.
It's a zombie game.
Oh, okay. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. That sounds interesting. Maybe I don't know.
No, it sounds interesting. I just
So
didn't see anything for it.
I'm guessing this isn't a new Elder Scrolls like game because it says online. It says Gold Road.
It's 10 years old now.
It's 10 years old now.
Yeah, it's another DLC.
Fuck. Are they ever gonna make a new one?
Yes, Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. Was it 6?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 6.
Yeah, it was announced like 2 years
was gonna
ago, and they
say,
still
like-
haven't. They're like, it's a ways out because I mean, it's
Ways.
going to be huge.
Like 2040.
I mean, at this rate, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Then we got Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, which is a remake
Yes,
of the third one.
looks really good, and apparently they've added a lot of new stuff. Like you can crawl on the rafters and stuff now to like escape and shit.
More realistic.
Yeah.
We got Fallout 76 Skyline Valley. That sounds like a DLC title.
Yes, a DLC title. 76 has been out for 3 or 4 years
I
now.
was gonna say. Sometimes I forget Fallout 4 came out in 2015.
Dude, right?
It's been that long.
It's insane.
Life is Strange, Double Exposure. Life is Strange sounds familiar.
It's a choice-based game.
Okay.
They're kind of...
Is it like a Until Dawn kind of thing?
Less so. More simplistic choices.
Okay.
It's not like horror-based. It's more like people who have like little powers and stuff that affect the things around them.
Okay. Sea of Thieves, which I thought was already a game.
It is. Is this just
Is it a remake?
No, it has to be a DLC because it's an all online experience. That's
Okay, because it literally just says Sea of Thieves,
huh.
which is weird.
That is weird.
Adamfall.
I saw something for that. Didn't watch it, or I think I might have put it in my watch later.
That sounds superhero-ish.
It sounds very Fallout to me.
I could see that too. Then we got Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn.
No idea.
No idea. Winter Burrow.
What? Oh, Burrow. I thought you said Winter Bro. Sounds like a snowboarding game.
Frag Punk.
Sounds interesting.
The fucking, it kind of reminds me of Cyberpunk in a way.
That or Sunset Overdrive kind of.
That, yeah. Mecha Break. And that's all we got from Microsoft. I don't think Sony did. Did they
No.
have their own? They haven't had
No, but there was an Ubisoft forward which has a couple of cool ones.
Oh, this too. It's not related, I don't think, but Hellblade 2
Ooh, is that
officially
finally?
got a, yeah. I forgot when, but yeah, I remember seeing the gameplay trailer for that like 2-3 years ago,
Dude, it was so yeah.
and it didn't look like a game because
It
there's
was like
no anything on the screen. It's
Right.
just you.
And honestly, I don't think in the first one there was
First one's
anything
not
on the
either.
screen.
I didn't finish that one, but I played most of it.
It's really good. Play it with headphones.
Oh, because you can hear the voice.
Dude, it will fuck you up. I played it with surround sound and it still jacks with me, but everyone tells me they're like, play it with headphones.
Play it on shrooms.
Oh no. No.
Even playing it high might be too much.
I'd be willing to do that before shrooms.
Yeah.
No thank
There's
you.
certain things I won't do on shrooms.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
So yeah, the Ubisoft forward one looks really good. There's one game on there I'm really looking forward to.
Let me look that one up on Instagram. UbiSoft. All right. Star Wars Outlaws, which is
That's the
I
one.
saw a little bit of that.
Mid-October?
I think so, and it looks sick. And it's the first open world Star Wars game.
Yeah. And so once you land on each planet, you get a speeder to like traverse
Yeah.
quicker because it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. Like Ubisoft does open world very well.
So we got a couple of Prince of Persia games too.
One of them is a remake and another one is a side scroller DLC. I
The
believe.
remake is The Sands of Time.
Yes.
And then they got The Lost Crown and The Rogue Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I believe those are both side scrollers.
Yeah, and then we got Shadows.
Did you know that
That's it.
Assassin's Creed started off as a Prince of Persia spinoff,
I did know that.
which is wild.
I did know that.
Because like the character you play as, you were supposed to play as like 4 of like basically like the protectors of like the prince.
Yeah.
And then somehow it just spun off and became Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
Which thank God, because that's still one of my favorite franchises of all time.
It's funny how things, when that happens, because even like movies, The Collector was supposed to be a Saw movie.
Really?
Yeah, and then it was just The Collector. Yeah.
I haven't watched that one in so long.
Me either. It's been a minute. The second one wasn't that great.
I never watched.
You
this.
never watched The Collection?
No.
It's a little over the top for a sequel. You try to outdo the first one.
Right.
But yeah.
Hell
Yeah, so that was the Microsoft and Ubisoft showcase.
Which one do you think you would look forward to more? Like the most game wise?
Out of all those?
Yeah, out of everything.
Let me look at
It's like mine's easy, but I gotta wait till next year, so I'm gonna go with Star Wars up until then.
That's probably mine, or I would say Doom. Actually, Fable. Because that interests me. Because like I told you, I've always wanted to play Fable. I just never have.
Yeah. Dude, the first one still holds up. Like graphically, no. If they
Well, yeah.
remade it, because the original studio went out of business.
That was the original Xbox, right?
Yes,
Okay.
dude, so good. Second one, fantastic. Third one, too short.
I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
And there is another complaint that people had about that one too, but I forget what it was.
It was the choice system was too simple, and also like there was a way. So like once you become king or queen, whatever, you have to make a choice to be like benevolent or evil. Unless that doesn't mean the same
Isn't
thing.
benevolent the same thing?
I think
no,
that's
malevolent.
malevolent,
Yeah.
So if you're like a benevolent king, like the people love you, but then this like giant cataclysm comes and you have like no resources to like protect people. But if you're evil, you have all these resources to protect people. So people hate you in the short term and then love you in the long run.
Right.
But still hate you because you were a dick. So it's a lot of like that kind of choice. Or you can like do all these things, be benevolent, and then you have all this extra side quests and stuff that you have to go through to collect the money to reimburse the city.
Right.
Or the kingdom, whatever.
Okay.
So like it makes it into like a giant grind, or like the choice just feels kind of hollow because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, one way or the other.
A while back, I don't remember when it was, but I remember seeing at least the first one on Game Pass. I don't know if they are anymore.
No, they should all be because they were Xbox only titles.
And those are always on Game Pass?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Any Xbox only title will automatically be on Game Pass, including Call of Duty 6 when it comes out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's only an Xbox?
Well, not only on Xbox, but it's an Xbox company now. It's Activision.
Oh, okay.
So any Xbox studio, day one, goes to Game Pass.
Okay, cool.
So that's your Fallouts, Call of Duties, which
Halo.
is fucking crazy.
Well, Halo is only Xbox.
Yeah. Sunset Overdrive when it first came out, but that was before.
That
like,
was
Game
a
Pass.
launch title for Xbox One, wasn't
yeah.
it? I remember playing that at Corey's
for
apartment.
Xbox One. One? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the names of these fucking Xboxes at this point. Corey? White?
The Chico Corey.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
You went to his apartment before, didn't you? I thought you went with us a couple times, I thought.
No.
Really?
I only went to his house one time at a different place.
No, that was strange.
Yeah. I think we'll move on. No, but
we got really drunk. Just joking.
Yeah, we
No,
got
we did.
hammered. I felt drunk at the end.
Fucking A.
But so I think the Star Wars one looks really, really, really good.
That looks graphically better than the last one. The last Star Wars game.
Fallen.
Survivor.
Yes, I agree.
And that's a great game. I only played it once. I'm surprised.
Same. I wanted to, but I was just like, dude, that thing was huge.
That thing was huge, and it doesn't have as much replayability like vibes to me than Fallen Order did.
I agree. I went and did all of the maps 100%, I believe. I think the only thing that I was missing was a couple of the bounty hunter missions.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to do those, but everything else I like went over like crazy.
You know me, I only do the story and that's it.
I have like this OCD thing with like open world games, especially if they're ones I like.
Yeah.
Where like I have to explore every last fucking bit of it. I did the same thing with Fallen Order.
You'd have a field day with Red Dead. Did you ever play Red Dead?
Yes, I had to stop myself.
Okay. I was going to say
one.
that's big.
It is huge.
That's big.
And then like I'm not even going to go into the story because I know one person who listens to our podcast semi-regularly that I don't want to spoil the game for him as he's playing. So
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. I
So
still
good.
got to crack a joke at Justice's expense at some point.
Oh,
in this
shit.
episode. Just hasn't come up yet.
that's fair.
Red Dead. I have Red Dead Redemption 2 out there. I haven't played it.
So did you ever play the first one?
No, I played like 3 hours of the second one and I got bored.
Oh,
But I'm sure if I go back now.
It's sad because it literally takes like 6 hours for the story to like kick in.
Yeah.
But after it does, it's so good. And then so the best DLC for any game ever is Red Dead Redemption 1 Undead Nightmare.
Oh, I have that too. I actually had the physical copy on PS3.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's one of the only games I've ever played where you actually have to shoot the zombies in the head for them to die. And then you get to collect, well, you can only have one at a time, but you can get the 4 horses of the apocalypse. And then, like, as you're riding past the zombies, they just fucking explode from the horses.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a good game.
That was a good game. The first Dead Rising was really good too, as far as zombie games go.
So, the weird part is, like, when it first came out, I never really got into it. I sort of got into Dead Rising 2, but then Dead Rising 3 came, and everyone's like, oh, that's the worst one. That's the one I had the most fun with. Because that was like right when Xbox One came out.
Yeah, because when I was in 6th grade, my friend Ty had it, and his parents would only let me play it. Like out of all his friends, I don't know
Oh,
why.
I thought you meant like he wasn't.
No,
even
he was too, but
allowed
his parents only let him play it with me. I don't know why, but yeah, I played that, and then the second one came out, and I played that a lot.
Okay.
I had it on PS3,
Makes sense.
and that
Yeah.
one was fun too. It was like Vegas kind of.
Right. The 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. See, I've gone back and I've played that one a little bit. The Case West one was pretty fun because it was like a crossover between the two. And then 3 is like a crossover between 2 and 3 in certain sections.
Isn't there a fourth one?
Yes.
That nobody really talks about.
And that one is Frank again from the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard it did really good over that Christmas period, but it didn't get the best reviews.
Okay.
So, because it came out like right around that Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 'cause I think it was even like Christmassy themed. I think I played a little bit of it.
Let me see. Let me look that one up.
It's I don't remember playing very much of it.
Shit, I guess I don't remember even looking at the cover. It got an 8 out of 10 from IGN.
I mean, I don't trust IGN with game ratings most of the time,
They're harsh on movies. I rarely see if I can anything above a 7.
which is why it was really wild to see. I want to say it was the Furiosa movie got like 10 out of 10.
Gave it a 9, I think.
They did?
Yeah.
Either way, it's still
That's
really high.
insane. I've heard it's really good.
I want to check it out a lot.
Yeah.
I think everyone went in kind of expecting Chris Hemsworth to do like his own accent and just like normal voice, but I guess he said he kind of modeled it off of his grandfather,
Yeah.
which will be really interesting to see how he does. Like,
Did you see he took some sort of test that tells him what health issue he's going to have later on the road, and he's going to have Alzheimer's apparently. So that's why he's doing like movies that he wants to do right now.
huh?
Yeah. I don't
And-
know what he did exactly, but Dom was telling me about it.
I mean, I wouldn't surprise me. Like, he's very like in tune with like his health and stuff. Like, I pay for that Center app that he has. Best workout programs I've ever had, and it's cheap as hell. I tried to do that, that Better Me thing that always pops up
Yeah.
on like ads and stuff. I
Oh, you're talking about BetterHelp?
no Better Me.
Oh,
It's
okay.
another workout app.
Oh, okay.
Because BetterHelp's
That's the therapy
one.
one.
It's like $66 for 3 months for Better Me. For Center, it's $120 for a year.
Wow.
So, and they give you like food plans and everything. Like
Really?
it's wild. Like it's
Okay.
super in depth. They have meditating, yoga, nutrition stuff, hit cardio, weight cardio, in gym, at home, like everything you could really want. Like boxing, like sparring stuff, and like it's crazy.
Okay.
So.
Sweet.
So we were also going to go over some of our favorite games of all time.
Yes.
In no particular order.
No particular order. I even got to add something to mine.
Obviously, I've already said Fable, so I'll just kind of push that to the side. But if you do get a chance, you don't have to play any of the Fables in sequence. If you really don't want to.
They don't follow each other?
Not really. And if they do, they'll recap like little bits, but they don't have anything to do with each other's stories.
Okay.
It's essentially just the same bloodline, but you don't have to know anything about the past.
Right.
So you could go just straight to 2, straight to 3. I would say 3 because it's the most modern, probably has the best graphics, which still aren't going to be top tier because it's been 14 years.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason I wouldn't recommend going back to Fable, because it probably would be kind of jarring, but it is so good. Easily the best one of the 3.
Okay.
So, other than that, any Assassin's Creed game would be up on my list, but particularly Assassin's Creed 3. I love the time period.
3 is the American Revolution one, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's
Ye-
probably like my favorite time period
Yeah.
too.
It was just super well done, getting to play with like actual firearms like consistently, because like they kind of played with that a little bit in like I don't know if they did it in 2. It might have been 2, but I know they did it in Brotherhood and Revelations a little bit, but it was more like the wrist gun. Where like as soon as 3 hit, you had your own pistol and you could like steal a musket, shoot somebody, drop that musket, steal another musket, and just like keep doing
Keep
that.
going.
And like you could use the musket as like a sword type deal too, with the bayonet on the end. Like it was super in depth. You could actually run through the trees, and like running through the snow like made it more difficult and you slower. Like, it was very well thought out.
Right.
And it incorporated all the stuff from 2 and like especially Brotherhood really well. Like the controlling your own, well, I guess Brotherhood.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
that one and then Unity would probably be my second favorite out of that.
Okay.
Even though most people hated it and never gave it a second chance because of the bugs. But
Oh yeah.
what about you? What would
So if we're going favorite games of all time, I guess one of the ones would be at the top would be like Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh yes.
Yeah. That came
So
out for
good.
that was like the first game I got for the GameCube.
Yeah. I remember going to
And-
one of my friends' houses and playing it.
Yeah. That was just on the whole story's fun, the whole concept of it. I've always wished they would like remake that. Mm-hmm. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that one.
Well, that one you can still go back to, and it doesn't really play a whole lot differently. It's just a matter
No.
of having it on a modern console.
Yeah, for sure. And let's see what else do I have. Army of Two was a big one too back in the day.
So
Played
good.
that religiously.
Both of the first two were fantastic.
The second one was the 40th day. I think that's what it's called.
I thought that was the
I think
yes,
there's
the
only-
40th day.
I think there's only two. I think.
There's 3.
There's 3 now. When
Yeah.
the fuck is the third one?
So the third one you play as 2 different characters,
Oh,
Alpha and Bravo,
okay.
but the 2 main characters from the first one are in it in kind of a shitty way. They kind of fuck with the story.
Okay.
But it's still fun. Mm-hmm. But dude, 1 and 2 were like my favorite moments I ever had with my dad. Like,
Yeah.
me and him would sit downstairs. It was that and Gears of War, but specifically Army of Two because it was so co-op.
Yeah, it was.
Like you had to rely on each other to like get through.
Yeah, like the moments when you had to like go in slow motion and like go back to back,
Oh, dude,
and like that was cool.
it's fucking gangster.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of mechanics about that game that I feel like were ahead of its time a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I would love to see something done that well again.
yeah,
Because they've really gone away from like especially like the split screen co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, there's not a whole lot of local co-op games unless it's like a fighting game like a Mortal Kombat.
yeah. Which is kind of dumb. Like
Yeah.
a lot of games now are just like online in general, which is stupid.
Right. I'm like,
But
and I get it because that's where the market went. But
Mm-hmm.
like, some of my favorite times were like having the availability to play a split screen game, like especially Halo back in the day. With my
oh
dad.
yeah,
Halo, Gears, Army of Two.
even Call of Duty back then.
Yeah, like that stuff was so much fun. That getting taken away as a capability, like I honestly kind of, in a shitty way, I feel like it kind of like took people apart because like you're not gonna have 2 consoles for one house unless
Yeah,
you're
no.
fucking loaded.
yeah, and some people do,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
Right. I'm like, I don't even think I'll do that with my kids. I think the console will be out in the living room and then they can just like play separate times.
Yeah. See, another big one was SmackDown versus Raw 2007. That was really well. I played 2007 and 2008 were like the only 2 I played, but 2007 was nostalgic as
I think
shit.
was it 2008. I loved like all of them. I remember playing all the wrestling games back from like SmackDown and SmackDown 2. I remember going to the mall to pick up SmackDown 2. But SmackDown versus Raw 2007, 2008, and I think I want to say it was 2009 was Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW. Those 3 were like my absolute favorite, again, especially playing general manager mode.
Oh, okay.
That was a blast. Trying to see if you can get like your show to be like the best of the 3 or whatever. Like always so fun.
Oh yeah.
Which they've brought that back in the last 2 games. Mm-hmm. So
Okay. Batman Arkham Knight would be probably my list of favorite games of all time because it's just like it took everything like combat wise and everything with the past 2 and just like amplified it even more.
see, and I agree with you fully, but I feel like everyone likes to like rank them differently. I feel like they're all perfect in their own ways. I know people have their gripes with the Batmobile and Night.
People, I mean, if you've played the game multiple times, then it does get a little annoying.
Oh, yeah.
But like the first couple times you play it, you're like, okay, this is cool.
Right. No, it's fantastic. It is
Yeah.
fun. It's cool to finally have the Batmobile to play as.
Yeah.
They just over-relied on it.
Yep.
But I feel like Arkham City was absolutely perfect. I think that one had the best story.
You think that had the best story?
Yes.
I think Arkham Knight did.
I thought Arkham Knight was the most fun.
Okay.
I think it had a great story, but I kind of go into that camp where I'm like, I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I see. I get that too, but that didn't like take away from the story for me. And like it felt the most cinematic too.
Right. Well, and see, my thing is, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the game. It just took away from the suspense to where I was like, okay, I'm not as like, oh, what's gonna happen? It was
Right.
kind of like
When is it gonna happen?
Right. There was like one thing in that ending that surprised me, and then even then, I was slightly annoyed that the Joker was back as like a final fight.
Yeah, I can see that. That was another main gripe about with people anyway, was that the Joker was just included in any capacity.
Right. Well, I
liked
didn't
how
mind
he
him
did
being
it.
included.
Yeah.
I just didn't really feel the need for like that final like boss fight.
Right. Right.
And then Asylum was also perfect. Like,
yeah.
it's definitely more limited due to technology at that time.
Technology, and it was the first one, so it probably didn't get a whole lot of like
Right.
leeway in what they were gonna do.
And then Origins, I don't know if you ever played that
Yes. Yeah, I think.
one. I think I bought it and I let you borrow it.
Yeah, we had to go to GameStop to pick it up.
Yeah. I absolutely love that one.
That's
too.
a great one, too.
All obviously made by a different company, but they took everything that worked in those Arkham games and like created a great story.
Yeah.
A lot of people were pissed that it was the Joker again in that one too, but like as an origin story, it was like perfect. It's your year one Batman story.
Basically.
It's fantastic. If I had to rank them, I'd go from worst to best. Ooh, I'd probably go Asylum on the bottom. Then Origins, Night, and City.
I would go Origins, Asylum, City, and Night.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, especially if you can easily put Asylum, City, Night just based off the progression of the way the game works. Let alone even just completely ignoring the story. Like every game capitalized on what the game did before.
Right.
So it was like perfect.
Right.
Never seen a game series do that so well since Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2.
For sure. And the last one that I'll talk about is probably my favorite game of all time at this point, Alien Isolation.
Okay.
Yeah, because I played that for the first time when we first moved into this house. And when I first moved into this house, I was kind of like in a little bit of a rough spot. So it was like one of the first things I played here. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, it was just kind of came at a good time. And I beat it like 3 times.
Right.
But
I remember you binging that one for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, the gameplay is perfect for that kind of game. That's like the only way you can really do that kind of game for me. Like, is when you're like the hiding and everything like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If we're going horror, there's only like one, not only one, but like one that like stands out in my mind. It's always going to be Alan Wake 1 and 2.
Okay.
Perfect. Like, you got to play the remaster of Alan Wake. It's actually pretty good, but even if you don't want to do that, just watch a video on it and then go play Alan Wake 2. It is so good. Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
I'll have to try it out again. Yeah, Alien Isolation is my favorite game, but my favorite like series overall is Resident Evil, and it has been forever.
See, and I think Resident Evil would probably be like my as far as horror games go. This is gonna be controversial, but that would probably be like my 3rd or 4th.
That'd be your 3rd or 4th.
My 2nd would probably be like The Evil Within.
Above Resident Evil? I like those. Like the first one was great, but the second one was kind of like meh.
See, I think the second one was better because it had a more clear and like concise story.
It seemed more cartoony to me too.
There were
visually.
moments, yeah. There were moments I could definitely see that, but it definitely had a lot of like almost Ring-esque visuals.
I can see that.
And then like the story was just a lot better laid out, where like the end of Evil Within 1, I was mad confused. Like I was like, I don't really understand half of this.
Right.
But like great games.
It's also made by the original director of the original Resident Evil game.
Yeah, and I think that's why I connected with it so much, because I loved Resident Evil at the time. I feel like there was one more horror game like I absolutely love. But another reason that holds like, so I hold that one more dear is because like me and Nate, every time that would come out, we would like stay at each other's houses just weekend, like end on end until we finished it.
Yeah.
And like to the point where like I think Kenneth was maybe a year old. Like, I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one came out, and I think I didn't see him for like 2 weeks. No, not I'm saying on the weekends, not
okay.
like legit. My wife, I was surprised my wife was okay.
She let you go stay over his house?
Basically, like I was there till like 4 a.m. on like I don't know if it was Friday and Saturday, but it was definitely Saturday.
Oh my god.
So
Damn.
yeah, we went crazy on those games.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, good times.
hell yeah. As far as like fun games to just fuck around on and decent stories, Tony Hawk's probably say Proving Ground and Project 8.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, out of those, mine would be Underground 1, 2, and American Wasteland.
American Wasteland was absolutely fantastic. I think I just loved the way visually Project 8 was. I think American Wasteland had the best story of all the games.
Okay.
And then Skate, obviously.
Skate, yeah. The Tony Hawk, like Underground 1, Underground 2, and American Wasteland, those are like very important and like pivotal in my life.
Oh yeah.
Like those are probably like the most important games I've ever played. As far as like nostalgia and just, I don't know, just important, I think.
Right. No, and I definitely get that. I can remember a lot of my childhood through that lens.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember playing, like, you wouldn't even have to play the story. You could just fuck around and do tricks and stuff. Like, and it had some of the best soundtracks you could ever find.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
Yeah. I even like if I hear a song that was on one of those games, I just like get like a feeling like in my body, like
Right.
I'm oh shit.
And a lot of people were pissed when they did the remake of 1 and 2 that, like, half of the songs they couldn't get the licenses to again.
Oh, the remake, yeah, and it just felt so empty.
Right.
Like that's why I like those ones because they had stories too and they had personality. Like the Pro Skaters were cool, but they weren't like the Underground and Underground 2 and shit. Like that, so.
I want to say I heard something about some more Tony Hawk games coming too.
Fucking hope they remake Underground. That'd be sick.
I know they could maybe do it with 1, but you really might not be able to do it with 2.
No, you can't do it too.
Especially with the drama that's gone on with like the Jackass guys and Ryan Dunn being gone.
That kind of sits where it needs to.
Yeah.
In history, but the first one you can do a lot with.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That one had a really good story too.
It did.
That one was very. I don't know if you ever watched the Paul Rodriguez skating movie.
Oh, Street Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me
Terrible
of that.
movie.
It was, yeah. But it kind of reminded me of that kind of storyline.
Yeah.
Best skateboarding movie of all time, easily Lords of Dogtown.
Yes, I just watched that not too long ago. Actually,
It's so good. I can't think of any more games off the top of my head.
yeah, I can't either. Well, I mean, I have like ones that we all played too: Lego Star Wars,
Oh, yeah.
Super Smash Brothers, Halo, obviously, and then Gun is one I've talked to you about
Oh,
before. Yeah, that. I played that one a lot.
I played that one a few times. I like Call of Juarez too.
Never played that one.
They definitely declined in quality, but they
Yeah.
were really good.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Alpha Dog?
I still haven't.
Motherfucker.
I know. I need to do that so we can talk about it.
Dude, it's so good. If it makes you want to watch it anymore, I don't know if it's fully nude,
Ha!
but you get a lot of Amanda Seyfried.
I never really was really attracted to her.
I wasn't for the longest time
Until that movie.
I could not stand her in Mean Girls. I don't know why I thought she was easily the least attractive of the three.
I always like the darker one, the brown haired one. I forget her name, but
I know her name, and it's Lacey Chabert.
let me see.
It's something like that. Her name
Yep,
is
you're right.
okay. I was like, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, but she was my favorite one.
She was my favorite.
I was
too,
like,
easily.
whoa.
I didn't like Rachel McAdams' like attractiveness level in that movie. I don't like her as a blonde, I guess.
She's attractive in Southpaw.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
Very
Brunette.
much so.
Brunette, she's much more attractive.
The Family Stone, she's attractive in that. She's brunette in that too.
Yeah. The only time I think I've ever found her attractive as a blonde was The Hot Chick.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I just watched that movie for the first time with Kenzie. She put it on because she's seen it many times, and it was fucking hilarious.
I started watching it last week with Kenneth, and then I was like, I got to the Adam Sandler part, and after that I was like, all right, this is starting to get a little inappropriate.
I was like really high when I watched it too, and Adam Sandler seemed, I don't know, he didn't seem real to me.
You can put your weed in there, man.
You can put your weed in there.
And people don't know this, but you can put your weed in here too, man.
And then when they're at the bar, and he's like talking like, well, he's the girl. And then that one guy like hears him, like I think it was a bartender, and he just makes weird faces as he's like,
I love
I'm gonna piss in my panties or something.
I love the him learning how to piss in a urinal thing.
Yeah.
The black dude is teaching him. He's like, you gotta aim at the fly.
Yeah.
Oh god, that movie was so good.
That was a good one. I like that one more than The Animal.
Ling Ling, you forgot your bling bling. Dude, you had Tia and Tamara Mallory in that.
I know, yeah.
That's wild.
And now Rob Schneider is a different kind of guy.
I mean,
He went the way I didn't think he would.
he definitely went like very conservative. I was very surprised.
Yeah, I never expect people like that to be conservative.
I honestly, I think a lot of the reason for that too, though, is everyone in Hollywood kind of seems the same.
Yeah.
They all seem like they're politically aligned one way. And then you get your Rob Schneiders and your Clint Eastwoods and your Chris. Can't think of his last
Pratt?
name. Yep, that one.
He's right?
He seems like he's leaning that way
He
at
seems
least.
like he would be, yeah. He also drinks Michelob Ultra.
Okay, he's right way. That's the white trashiest beer you can. That's not
No,
true.
it's not Keystone Light.
I mean, no, that's trailer park beer.
Okay.
There's a difference.
I mean, the white trash live in the trailer parks.
I mean, okay, it's the Michelob Ultra is the most.
I don't know who I think of when I think of Michelob Ultra.
I know exactly who I think of. I think of my grandparents.
Oh, okay.
So, I think of well-to-do
White people?
mostly.
Okay.
That's not even true because the only person I know that drinks it now is like it's a weird mix of like
A weird mix.
yeah, it's like he looks ambiguous, but it's like Mexican and German, and his last name is Wycombe.
Oh.
So crazy last name for a big Mexican dude.
Fucking insane. Do I look racially ambiguous? I feel like sometimes I do. Sometimes I look one way or the other. It all depends.
I think one way or the other. I think
Yeah.
it kind of just depends as well, but I can see both for sure.
I've gotten Native American many times.
See, that one I don't see, but your cheekbones definitely make me think more Japanese.
Really? I didn't even know I had cheekbones.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
And then the mustache makes me think Mexican.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. It looks good.
Yeah. But fucking, I can't get rid of it now. She won't let me.
Dude, I know how that goes. My wife loses her shit when I shave. She gets so mad. Even when I just trim it, she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, I'm sorry. It got uncomfortable.
One night I trimmed it and I accidentally trimmed in, so I had to shave the whole thing off. And she was pissed.
Dude, I've done that so many times.
Yeah. I did it one time on purpose too. I was like, I kind of don't want it right now.
Same. Sometimes I'll do it to taunt her, and I don't know why, because then I'm miserable.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, but at least I'll piss her off for a minute.
Yeah. I've had it for so long now that I look at pictures of like end of last year and shit, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Right.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So
I went back not super long ago, and I looked at our first video we ever uploaded, and I was like, holy crap.
probably very awkward.
Definitely. I was also really skinny.
That's when you had the blonde hair, I think.
It was either the first video or the second video I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I was actually in decent shape back then.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Crazy time indeed.
And then like 2 months later, fucking COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
Yeah, because we literally started in January of that year.
We were plotting since like maybe October before that.
Yeah.
November, October, and then decided to announce it like right at the beginning of January. And then
March probably.
I think
is
we
when that
did
happened.
like 5 or 6 episodes, and then March.
Mm-hmm. Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane.
So that means it's been 4 years, and like 4.5 years we've been doing this.
Yeah.
with a couple little breaks in between, but
Pretty consistent. Yeah, been pretty consistent. Made a movie. It's been good so far.
planning on making more.
Yeah.
You still got to show me the script.
I know.
I've been itching, bro.
I know.
I've been holding myself back from saying it on the podcast too.
I know.
Does this one have a name?
Yeah, I remember I sent it to you. I sent it to you.
That's so far back.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
You know how much we messaged?
Oh yeah. Life as a Melody.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So did you pick that because of the Bones album?
The song, yeah.
Song, that's what I meant.
Because I was like couldn't find a title. And I was listening to that song, and there's something he said at the beginning of the song that was making me think of the movie, and then I just looked at the name of the song. I was like, oh shit! And I looked up to see if there's a movie title that, and there's not.
Okay, perfect.
Surprisingly.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, and it's a musical. I'm just joking. It's not.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, I couldn't.
I mean, I could, but you'd have to dub my voice.
With the black guy. Oh shit! That'd be funny.
You know what movie we need to do a watch along of? Like an act. Like we'll have to make sure we watch the Machine the whole time this time. Well, we tried to do Joker last time, so I figured we stick with Joaquin and we go Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
Okay, last time I mentioned mushrooms, but could you imagine that one?
No. That'd be fucking terrible. Because you already feel like it when you're watching the fucking
Dude,
thing.
it is so tense.
Especially the animated section during the play.
Dude.
I cried in the theater, so imagine on shrooms.
I was tearing up hard during that part.
Yeah.
Dude, that felt like it could have been its own separate movie, that whole section.
That whole section, I did not look away from the screen at all.
No.
I was like mouth open like.
Dude, my eyes were so dry by the end of that movie.
Yeah, I was like, what the
Because like all the way up until the attic scene, I don't remember like blinking.
No, we looked at each other multiple times. And we were like, what the fuck?
That was the wild. I was so happy that movie got made. Like that's the only feeling I walked to, like other than like kind of like
Disturbed?
very disturbed, but also like despair kind of. Like I just walked away being like
dread, like a dread feeling, yeah.
But also mixed with like I'm just happy this exists because like I could not imagine a studio allowing that.
No, you'll never see a movie like that in IMAX again. No. That was a once in a lifetime thing.
It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen it since. I'm surprised, actually.
So let's plan a weekend sometime soon. I don't care where we watch it. I think I already bought it.
Okay.
And we can even the Xbox, I don't care. We'll just plan something sometime soon.
Yeah.
You got anything else for this podcast, sir?
I think I'm good.
I have no idea what you said. All right. So if you don't mind, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Did I say Apple Podcasts and Spotify?
Yeah.
Make sure to like, rate, subscribe, leave us 5 stars everywhere. It really helps us reach out to other viewers. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.